Well, we have this report, Ambazonia war stress pushes colonial soldier into suicide. Now, in Kumbo, the case of late Corporal Fedin, a soldier in the colonial military, has drawn attention to issues surrounding the mental health of colonial military personnel and impact the war has on them. He was found dead, and reports suggest he may have taken his own life after being denied a transfer to safer non-conflict area in La Republique to Cameroon. Now, this event marks the fourth reported suicide in the colonial military in just 3 weeks. This follows the case of another colonial element who had resulted in drug abuse earlier in Bamenda, but was, however, rescued by health workers. Colleagues of the deceased shared their concern, saying he was frustrated after his superiors refused to reassign him to a non-conflict zone, leaving him feeling trapped in what they described as a tough situation. Such incidents are increasingly on the rise, prompting discussions about the mental health resources available to La Republique du Cameroon soldiers. Now, over to Commander Elvis. This is not the topic of concern here. It is to be noted that, however, the Ambazonian population has suffered worse ordeals than the colonial military. They have, for over 8 years, been subjected to inhumane treatment and mental torture. Meanwhile, many of these oppressors are struggling to cope with the aftermath of their own atrocities, with some turning to substance abuse, others choosing to desert their posts, and some settling for suicide. Commander Elvis, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Tabitha, thank you again for that great question. Yeah, I am laughing because that La Republic soldier, the recent one you just explained there, took his life in Bowie County. And you know what they call Bowie County? That is a land of no return. Like Brad said,
Yeah,
yeah, famous Brad says, "Ikilibe go, Ikilibe no come back." So that is exactly what happened to them, right? Because what we do to them is we increase their level of post-traumatic stress disorder. And this happens because there is a constant fear within the ranks. They cannot even go out at night to pee in their bathrooms outside of their building. There is constant fear. You know, the Ambazonian State Army in Bui, we greatly applaud them because they follow the Sang Sung Chi handbook of what guerrilla warfare is all about. Tormenting the enemy day in, day out. Going after them when they're resting, retreating when they're being chased, and making sure that the enemy has no resting heaven. We had already advised those Republic terrorists that were sent to Ambazonia in Bui, to be more specific, that the best option for them is to hand their weapons over to the La Republique, to our the weapons that are given by La Republique to our Ambazonian state army, and they would grant them safe passage to neighboring countries. You know, unfortunately, this young man would have saved his life because you don't want to die fighting for an octagonal regime that doesn't even recognize you. I'm pretty sure they're gonna accuse him for maybe being some drug addict, or rather, somebody that was engaged in substance abuse. That is probably not the case. I can tell you for sure that it is the level of stress that he could not handle and the level of post traumatic stress disorder that he already had built in him. There are many of such, and they will resolve to suicide because otherwise, there is no way they can cope with that amount of pressure or that amount of stress. That is how La Republique feels in Ambazonia, in Bui County to be more specific. We want to make sure that all of them, wherever they are, that is the news that they're getting. They have that memo to take back to La Republique. They will show their brothers, they will show their sisters. So this is not a place for us to go. If you go there, if you don't get killed in the battlefield, guess what? You will not be able to sustain that pressure, and you subsequently take over your life, take away your life. The second part, unfortunately, our people have been tormented for years, and like they say, it's what you dish out that's going to come back in. Even when they go out there and kill our innocent civilians, kill our parents, slaughter animals and go back to their barrack, they can't sleep because those pictures hunt them. you know they feel they might take some substances like the famous caillou that we know that they have tried to introduce in Ambazonia, but they still fall victim to that. So when they do all those atrocities, commit all those atrocities, and get back to their base, they can't sleep. We also have our own traditional ways of fighting them. They know that spiritually. We know our famous crossing dies. You touch somebody's things that you're not supposed to touch, see somebody's money that you're not supposed to see. Guess what? When you go back to your bag, that is exactly what's going to happen to you. So we want to inform the Republic that if they continue to invade Ambazonia, unfortunately, their young sons and daughters, like the ones that sent over to Ambazonia, they'll be gone too quick, and their parents will have nobody else to look up to. So thank you again, Tabitha, and I'll hand over the mic probably to Barrister to give his own input on that.
Yes, Barrister. The truth of the matter is we can't shy away from the intensity of this war. And right here, even the La Republic du Cameroon army are weary, but the Ambazonian States Army are forging ahead. There's a victory to be regained just at the end of the tunnel. So now we can have your thought on this situation.
Well, Tabitha, you must know that La Republic of Cameroon no longer gives food money to their soldiers. All of them now are living under stress. They don't know what to eat from day to day. They go stealing, they go looting, they go doing all kinds of funny things in order to eat. Imagine a young boy like that one you just showed. He is fighting a war that he knows nothing about, and he might not have eaten all day. And what do you expect? He wants to be transferred out of a war zone, and they are refusing. So he takes his life. And like Commander Elvis says, stress is another factor, a big factor. A lot of these La Republic soldiers don't even know why they are fighting that war. And we are just knowing the few that you are showing now. I can bet you that many of them have died of suicide, just shot themselves and died. And La Republic will declare them missing, or they have abandoned their post or something. They have run out of the country, but majority of them are dead because they don't want that war. And look, our soldiers are very, very, very well disciplined. They follow the chain of command. They live well because they have to eat. We make sure that they eat, and they have no problems with stress. All they want is to liberate their homeland, the land of their birth. They don't think about any other thing other than fighting. And that's why we don't have this type of problems. You have never heard that an Ambazonian State Army personnel has taken his life. It will not happen because he is being supervised, he's being managed, he's being protected by the chain of command, by his bosses, who themselves are being protected by the chain of command from top to bottom. Look, the army during war is not an easy place to be. Yeah, so La Republic soldiers will all die and that is a sign that we're winning. We have won. I don't know why we keep saying we're winning. We have won this war. They just don't want to go. They want to keep dying. Let them keep going to the land of no return. Bui, Gokutunja, Manu. They come to Mezam and they enjoy and torture the population, seize money from the population, send those hoodlums to go and hold the population hostage and take money so that they can share and eat. La Republic does not have money to prosecute this war. They don't even have money to do anything. They are going around the world begging. So this war had come to an end, but they will not accept. We will make sure that they leave our territory. We'll keep fighting. The firepower, that's why we are calling on all of us to draft and draft and draft so that we can get enough firepower to make sure that either they live or they die of stress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Barrister Fro.